From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, July 18th. WNBA All-Star events tip off today. We also have the Indiana Black Expo going on this weekend still. Friday, starting out sort of rainy and dreary this morning. Things are going to dry out as the day goes on. We're going to be in the high 80s, high to mid 80s, but do expect more unsettled weather this weekend. We have chances for showers and storms at times.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
Breaking news, even though Caitlin Clark is out, an Indiana Fever shooting star will be part of the All-Star three-point contest. The team says Lexie Hull will replace her injured teammate tonight. She is the 4th in the WNBA in three-point percentage this season and was 2nd in the league last year. As for the role Caitlin Clark will take on when the WNBA All-Star on-court activities get going today, Fever says she will remain as team captain this weekend in Saturday's All-Star game. Fever released a statement from Clark yesterday saying she will miss both the All-Star game, at least as a player, and tonight's three-point contest due to her most recent groin injury. Clark is still the team captain and says she's looking forward to helping coach the team to a win, but Fever's head coach agrees with her decision to sit out.
The big picture is the most important. For her health and wellness long term, and for our team, and to we've been very slow in making sure that every time she comes back that she's ready. So we'll continue to approach it like that.
The All-Star Skills Challenge starts tonight at 8 p.m. Another huge fan experience for the All-Star weekend starts this morning. It's bringing in celebrities and basketball fans from across the country. News 8's Malia Van Ostren went to the Indiana Convention Center with what is happening.
Yes, so crews are just putting the finishing touches on some of the exhibits here at the WNBA Live, a 2-day fan-filled experience filled with basketball, style, music, and community events. It's all part of the WNBA All-Star Weekend. The doors open later this morning at 10, and fans will be able to step into a world of interactive games, celebrity appearances, panel talks with Black and women-led businesses, and meet and greets and photo ops with WNBA players. Fans will also be able to get access to exclusive merchandise. Whether it's courtside or curbside, this weekend is about empowerment from professional athletes to community advocates.
This year, first time athletes in the WNBA who are going to have their first chance to interact with the fans here in Indiana. You're going to see experiences that we've never had before. And I just think the vibe is just bigger and better and illustrative of where the WNBA is today.
And it's happening right here in exhibit halls I through K. Tickets are $25 for adults, and kids 12 and under get in free, but everyone does need a ticket to enter. Now, WNBA Live is today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then the game tips off Saturday evening at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. In Indianapolis, I'm Malia Van Ostren for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The 10-Point Coalition is among several anti-violence groups planning to be downtown this weekend during the All-Star events and Indiana Black Expo Summer Celebration. Group's leader, Reverend Charles Harrison, says they'll work to de-escalate any situations involving young people over the next few days. He also says the street outreach program will continue throughout the summer, especially on weekends when young people are most at risk.
Kids to enjoy themselves, to have fun with Expo and all the events with the WNBA, and we're just down there to make sure that happens.
Harrison says the coalition plans to have 6 teams downtown through this weekend. IT-Mate is taking a closer look at the millions of dollars in grants that Mayor Joe Hogsett awarded to anti-violence groups over the past 3 years. IT-Mate's Kyla Russell is following the money to see if groups getting the funds are getting results.
In October of last year, the mayor handed out $9 million to 51 organizations in the city. It's never been known just how much each organization got or how they plan to use it. So I reached out to all of them to ask just that. Of the 51 organizations that I asked, 14 got back to me.
Hey there, question for you.
And only 6 were willing to tell me how much money they got in October. Brightwood Community Center tells me they got $179,000. The Health and Hospital Corporation of Marion County got $161,908. The Indiana Construction Roundtable Foundation got $211,000. New Breed of Youth got $168,000. Outreach Incorporated got $160,000. And the Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis got $190,000.
It gave us some stability, and it was up to us. It was up to New Boy. It was up to my board to feed off of that.
In 2021, the mayor announced the new initiative called the Elevation Grant Program, addressing the root causes of violence. The 3-year program was partially funded by American Rescue Plan dollars and gave out a total of $150 million. Here's what he said about it after it was announced.
That's why I'm cautiously optimistic that we're moving in the right direction.
Last year, IMPD recorded a 7% increase in the number of non-fatal shootings among kids. In just this month, there's been public outcry from state and local leaders after a mass shooting over the 4th of July weekend left 2 teens dead.
I don't know how many times I have to say it. We are not your children's keepers.
With $9 million new dollars in pockets around the city, I asked some of the organizations what Hogsett and the foundation have done after giving out the money to ensure it's being used properly. I'm told each place was set to have 1 site visit, and they've been asked to make quarterly progress reports. 4 organizations who did not want to be identified tell me they've had a site visit. One says they aren't aware of a site visit, and a handful of others tell me they've been late on their progress reports and there's been no follow-up from the foundation or the mayor. 2 other organizations say the person who came for the site visit did not specifically ask how they were using the money to curb violence. Some, though, say the grant has been very helpful.
So what we've seen is when young people are connected to pro-social activities, to mentors, to organizations in the community, we don't have a direct connection to these young men that are dying.
The Elevation Grant has been tremendous in helping our community try to reduce homicide rates as well as recidivism rates.
I reached out to the mayor's office to ask how he's making sure the money is actually curbing violence. And here's what he said. The Elevation Grant Program has allowed local organizations in our city to expand and enhance the good work they do to make Indianapolis a better, safer place for all. Though last year marked the end of the Elevation Grant Program, the Mayor's Public Health Office still has a yearly grant program that invests about $300,000 each year into violence prevention. Reporting here in Indianapolis, I'm Kyla Russell for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The head of the police union is blasting the Marion County Prosecutor again. Fraternal Order of Police President Rick Snyder is calling for the state to set up a special prosecution district in Indianapolis. Numbers for homicides and other violent crimes are lower this year than 2024. Snyder accused Prosecutor Ryan Mears of giving lenient plea deals to convicted criminals.
The vast majority of the time, one or both of those persons, had they been held accountable for a prior bad act, could not and would not have been there for that latest act of violence to occur.
The prosecutor's office has been defending itself against criticism. A statement out this week points to 5 new murder charges and sentences in 5 other murder cases over the last few days. Ryan Mears spoke this morning.
When you pass permitless carry, it should come no surprise to anyone that those guns are going to end up in the hands of kids. And when you have no private regulation of gun sales, it should come as no surprise that those guns are going to end up in the hands of kids. And if you don't believe how serious of a problem this is and how deadly of a problem this is in our community, you can look at any one of the number of cases that are currently pending in Marion County where we have charged someone with murder in a gun deal gone bad.
In Washington, Indianapolis Congressman Andre Carson is co-sponsoring a bill aimed at improving gun safety. His office says the bill would provide a federal tax credit for certified firearm safes and secure gun storage devices. Carson says any discussion of public safety in Indianapolis and across the country must include common sense gun safety reforms that everyone can support. New on Daybreak, a very rare reversal in Congress is done. The House, late last night, gave final approval to President Trump's request to claw back $9 billion in spending that the same lawmakers just approved earlier this year. The bill primarily targets funding for public broadcasting and foreign aid. The House passed it late last night, largely along party lines, sending it to Trump for his signature. The total is a tiny fraction in the government's overall spending plan, but this is the first time in decades that a president has successfully submitted a spending recession request to Congress. The White House says President Trump has chronic venous insufficiency. The diagnosis comes after days of speculation about bruises on the president's hands and swelling in his ankles. Doctors say chronic venous insufficiency is fairly common, especially in people over 70 years old. President Trump is 79 years old. Wish TV medical expert Dr. Janelle Gordon says about 1 in 20 American adults have it.
Chronic venous insufficiency happens when you have the valves within the veins of usually the lower extremities weaken. And as a result, the blood is not able to go back up towards the heart and then out towards the rest of the body, and it can pool in the lower extremities.
Dr. Gordon says the condition is part of aging, especially for someone who is overweight or obese. President Trump has vowed to sue the Wall Street Journal after the newspaper published details of a letter it claims Trump sent to Jeffrey Epstein more than 20 years ago. In a post on Truth Social, the president says he spoke to the paper's owner, Rupert Murdoch, and its editor and told them the letter is fake. The Journal says the letter was one of several that Epstein's friends sent for a 50th birthday album in 2003. The paper describes it as showing Trump's name and text framed next to a hand-drawn image of a naked woman. The Journal also says the letter reads, in part, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." The newspaper did not publish a photo showing that letter. Trump told the Journal, "These are not my words, not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures." Trump says he wants Attorney General Pam Bondi to pursue the release of grand jury testimony transcripts from the Epstein case. The request is the latest of several abrupt turnarounds from Trump regarding Epstein. Trump said during the campaign that all Epstein material should come out, and Bondi echoed that in the first days of the administration. This month, both had backtracked, saying nothing more would come out. The swings have unleashed sharp criticism from both left and far right. Trump loyalist Laura Loomer puts it on Bondi.
An embarrassment and also a PR crisis for the president of the United States. And now people are talking about how they're not going to support the president and they're not going to show up to vote in the midterms. Totally insane.
The House Rules Committee last night advanced a non-binding resolution calling for the Justice Department to release more information on Epstein. Transcripts are a fraction of the overall material in the case. A judge would have to approve the release. CBS has canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The company says it will end next May and is purely a financial decision. It ends a franchise that Indianapolis native David Letterman started 32 years ago. Several Democrats are calling for an investigation into the cancellation because the announcement comes after Colbert criticized a settlement between CBS parent company Paramount Global and President Trump. The settlement is over a 60 Minutes interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris that aired during the 2024 campaign. Paramount Global is in the process of seeking the Trump administration's approval for a sale to Skydance Media. Let's get to your business headlines now. Jane King starts with the FDA authorizing the return of a certain e-cigarette.
The FDA has given the okay now to the Juul e-cigarettes after a 3-year review. So the Food and Drug Administration has authorized Juul Labs to keep the e-cigarettes and the refill cartridges on the market. The FDA says it determined evidence from Juul studies that show the e-cigarettes are less harmful for adult smokers and possibly could even benefit from making the switch. Now, the FDA says it's not endorsing the tobacco product as safe or FDA approved. It and retains the products are legally marketed only to adults 21 and older. Juul have been widely blamed for sparking the teen vaping trend. Well, Roblox is starting age estimation technology for users who want to chat more freely on the social gaming platform. So this is part of its new Trusted Connections feature. Users over 13 will be prompted to use the facial analysis software that will estimate their age and then determine if they can access the new Trusted Connections feature. It allows them to engage in private, unfiltered chats with other age-screened users. Peacock, the streaming service owned by NBC Universal, will raise prices by $3 later this month and begin testing a new narrowed-down tier for users. The price for Peacock's ad-supported premium plan will increase to $10.99 a month. The Premium Plus will be priced at $16.99 per month. That starts July 23rd. And they're also going to have a select tier that targets TV lovers, featuring current seasons of shows on NBC and Bravo. And that will be $7.99 a month. Well, if you're looking for a new job, you may want to clean up your social media. According to the American Staffing Association, 70% of employers admit to scanning social media sites to research applicants. And nearly 60% of them say they have turned down someone because of what they've seen. It also found Gen Z sees social media as a platform of expression, while many baby boomers feel it can hurt your career. Wall Street had a winning day yesterday. S&P 500 closed at a new record high, and we're positive this morning. So the earnings, the economic reports we've got this week, the market's liked those. So it looks like a positive week so far. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
New on Daybreak, a second round of talks between the WNBA and its players union will likely happen this All-Star weekend here in Indianapolis. ESPN reports that the two sides have agreed to meet again after talks yesterday ended with no resolution in the dispute that could lead to a work stoppage after this season. ESPN says more than 40 players, including Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, were part of the meeting. The union is calling on the league to boost pay and benefits for players because WNBA revenue has skyrocketed the past 2 years. The Children's Museum is hosting an all-star event this weekend. It's called Shoot for the Stars, where space meets sports. Fever great Tamika Catchings was there to launch the first day out on the basketball courts. Organizers say kids who go will get to meet an astronaut tomorrow and experience several NASA-themed exhibits. This has been your News 8 Daily. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.